Peace and blessings, family. My name is Nikki Ewing, and welcome to the Rose Garden Vibes. Today, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about what meditation is, the benefits, and how helpful it can be in the many facets of our lives. And so, go ahead, get comfortable, maybe get a pen and pad, whatever you need, and let's hop into today's discussion. Okay, so before we get into how helpful meditation can be, I want to talk to you a little bit about what meditation is and some of the misconceptions that come with the act of meditating. So, the first thing that's important to know is that meditation is a mind and body practice that is focused on the interactions between the brain, the body, and our behaviors. What does that mean? That means that the ultimate goal of meditation is to connect the mind and the body, the brain and the body. Because meditation long term can impact the way that we interact with other people. It can influence our behaviors and how we perceive certain events that happen within our life. The truth of the matter is that research has been done for a while now that proves that when we do meditate, it really does impact the structure and the functioning of our brain on a very intimate level. All right. So when it comes to meditation and the studies that have been done on meditation, it has been shown that people that have a regularly meditative practice, their brain function has shifted. There are certain parts of the brain that have become larger because neurons in the brain are more connected. And so all in all, if we meditate and we have a regularly meditative practice, the neurons in our brain become more connected with one another, and that impacts our senses. It impacts our vision. It impacts how we make decisions. It impacts our executive functioning of the brain, which is how we rationalize things, how we perceive things, how we interact with others, and the behaviors that we make. All right. And so when we talk about the definition of meditation, it is indeed a mind-body practice because the neurons function is to send messages throughout the body. And so if we're meditating regularly, we do indeed scientifically think a lot more clear. That's just the truth of the matter. All right. So when it comes to the misconceptions of meditation, a lot of people have this idea that meditation is maybe saying a lot of times. There's also this misconception that if I'm meditating, I'm not thinking. My mind should be clear. And while I understand that, and that is many pieces and many options of meditation, however, we don't have to say Om to meditate. We don't have to chant to meditate. And all in all, the long-term goal of meditation is to have moments and pockets of where we are thinking clearly. And so for some people, that can look like me not having any thoughts. For some of us, it may look like having very few thoughts. For some of us, it may be that our thoughts are more clear and less chaotic. And so maybe I'm not stressing, I'm not overthinking, I'm not ruminating. However, I'm just noticing my thoughts kind of coming and going without getting attached to them. And that is ultimately the goal of meditation, is to be not come over fixated or overly attached to our thoughts. Because if I'm becoming overly fixated or overly attached to my thoughts, that's more than likely how I'm showing up in the world, is that I'm over fixated on things, or I'm over analyzing and overthinking every single thing that happens in my life and every single thing that I do. And the goal is to move away from that. And so if my meditation is clear and I'm able to kind of pass through thoughts and allow them to be fleeting, that means that I'm growing this capacity to let go of things and to have more of an easy manner and not a lax perspective per se. However, I'm not overly anxious. right? I'm not over analyzing. I'm not worrying as much because I know that if I'm thinking clearly, that means that I'm able to handle situations in a more clear headed and level headed manner. All right. And so when we look at meditation, meditation is one or two steps in a well-oiled machine that is birthed out of yoga. Now, I'm not going to say that yoga is what created meditation. However, I'm going to use this example because when we think of yoga, meditation is a part of yoga. And so there's something called the 8 limbs of yoga that if you would like to know more about this, please let me know in the comments, and then I'll go more in depth about the 8 limbs of yoga. However, in the 8 limbs of yoga, there is this piece about meditating, all right? And so there's 3 steps that comes with meditating, all right? The first step is being able to go inward, being able to detach our senses from everything that's happening outside of us and being able to go inward. What do I mean by that? That means being able to just be able to sit with my thoughts and just observe them, being able to sit with my emotions and just observe them, being able to sit with body sensations and urges and just observe them, just being able to take an internal inventory, just going in. That's step 1. The next step is beginning to concentrate. Not fixate, but concentrate on 1, maybe 2 things. And this is when we get into the different types of meditation. And so when I'm speaking to concentrating, maybe I concentrate on a mantra, which is a repeated phrase like I am calm, I am peaceful, I sit still. Maybe it's concentrating on your favorite scripture, your favorite quote, maybe a goal that you have for the day. Also, that can look like maybe I do a visual meditation. Maybe I concentrate on maybe this safe space that I want to create, or maybe my ideal quiet space, you know. It can also be a body scan. Like maybe I just begin to slowly concentrate on my feet and then my ankles, so forth and so on. Just body scanning all the way up to the top of my body. Or maybe I simply just concentrate on my breath. Am I breathing hollow? Am I breathing deeply? Am I fully expanding my belly and then letting it release? And then once I've been able to concentrate, that means that I'm no longer focused on the many thoughts that I'm having. I'm concentrating on 1 thing. And that also helps me detach my senses from everything externally, because now I'm concentrating on 1 thing that has to do with me and me alone internally. And then the 3rd step is letting go, surrendering to the moment and allowing my body to relax. Sitting here, surrendering to the moment and all that comes with it. Being able to accept that, okay, my thoughts may wander, but then I'm choosing to go back to that thing that I'm concentrating on. That is what meditation is. Turning myself back to this present moment, turning myself back to concentrating on just 1 thing in this moment, and letting go of the expectations, things that I need to do, things that I should be doing, so forth and so on. Now, as we continue to climb the ladder of these steps, yes, I will have these moments, these moments of peace, these moments of bliss, these moments where I have let go so much that I have these moments where I'm not thinking about anything and my body feels light and I feel like peace. And it's being able to connect with those moments enough and say, this feels amazing, this feels so good. Because those moments will carry us throughout the day. Those moments will carry us throughout the week. And then we commit to the practice of meditation. And meditation does not have to be 20 minutes, an hour. It can be 3 to 5 minutes. It can be 5 to 10 minutes. Because meditation is breathing. And if you're breathing, you're already meditating. Because the other misconception is that we have to be sitting down. You can meditate in your car. Just turn off your radio. Maybe put your phone on do not disturb, or maybe just on vibrate, but turn your radio off and just enjoy the drive. Take in the scenery, breathe, sit with your thoughts, and watch yourself be at peace. You may even go into autopilot because you're so at peace, and then you just naturally drive yourself to home or to work. Maybe turn off your TV at home and turn off your radio and just be. Maybe you go on a walk in the neighborhood and just be. We can meditate whether we're walking, driving, talking to somebody else. Yes, you can meditate while talking to somebody else. It's being aware, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Because the more we meditate, the more we become aware, the more we become connected to our thoughts, to our emotions, to our body, and that's why our neurons are becoming more connected to one another. They're firing off and they're sending messages because I'm not as stressed. Because the more we meditate, the benefits are that our symptoms of anxiety begin to reduce. Our symptoms of depression begin to reduce. We really improve our thinking capability. We really improve our problem solving skills. We begin to concentrate more effectively and maybe even longer. And we develop this ability to adapt and to overcome situations that may make us emotionally distressed. That's the beauty of meditating. We become a whole person. We become more effective. We become more regulated. We become more wise. And a lot of us often have questions about, well, how do I connect to God? How do I connect to the Most High? How do I connect to the ancestors? There's a passage that says the kingdom of God is within. Go in. That's the first thing that I offered as a step to meditating, is being still and allowing yourself to go within. These attributes, these spirits, they're within us. The Most High is within us. Our ancestors are within us. It's our bloodline. It's our blood right. It's our birthright. And so we're able to hear the Most High clearly. We're able to hear our ancestors more clearly and connect with these entities by meditating, because we're quiet, we're still, we're not overthinking. We're in a space of listening, learning, and receiving and being open. Meditation does not open us to demons. It opens us to ourselves. It opens us to ourselves. If you would like to know more about meditation, if you would like to get more guided meditations, if you would like to know what the 8 limbs of yoga is, definitely let me know and I will give you more content on these things. I love you all, and peace and blessings.